Summer 2019 ready-to-wear collections have embraced the sun, with sumptuous sets and beautiful clothes at every turn. This as some designers choose to channel political and environmental concerns through their work. So is there still space for fashion to be aspirational? If Chanel's latest show is anything to go by, yes. The label's transported tons of sand and water to the Great Dome of Paris's Grand Palais.
Why is Carl looking for me? Why does he want me to be at the show? And then I realized, okay, we're at the beach.
Although far from the Californian surf, Baywatch star Pamela Anderson looked very much at home on the shores of Chanel's central Paris beach. She was impressed by Karl Lagerfeld's latest offering.
The fabrics are so fluid. It's so well executed. It's magnificent. It's an art form, absolutely.
Chanel's clothes are extremely sophisticated, yet also simple and practical enough for everyday life.
I especially love the new bags, the crisscross bag with the two sides, so in case you need more, you know, there's two bags.
The last model was amazing. She was a very tall black woman with red lipstick and a magnificent organza dress. It was sumptuous.
And what's to become of this extraordinary set? The sand, originally from a quarry near Paris, will be recycled, as will the water. The decor too will have a second life, adorning the window displays of some 350 boutiques. American designer Thom Browne has also opted for a beach-like backdrop. Browne knows that fashion is first and foremost about sales. The accessories may be outlandish, but the clothes are wearable.
The message in just, you know, how I approach playing with proportions and tailoring, and then playing with the story of, you know, I think the power of women and the power in strong images that they project. And that was the reason for the binding of the girls, because the image was so strong.
Models teeter on sky-high heels, their arms constrained. It's a shocking image, but Thom Browne is, after all, a provocateur. More than anything, he wants to send up the excesses of the American dream. In the entrance hall of Paris's Opéra Garnier, Stella McCartney has a message. We're destroying our planet, and it's not too late to find solutions. She remains optimistic. McCartney is vegan, and her personal ethics feed into her brand.
It's everywhere. It's from head to toe, you know. The fact that we don't use leather and fur, it has the biggest impact on the environment for us in a positive way. Just because killing all those animals for fashion, the water, the grain, the land, it's an inefficient use of you know, the resources that we have on the planet. The thing is, for me, that's really important is you shouldn't even see it. There should be no compromise, you know? It should still look like an amazing, luxurious Parisian fashion show.
At Vivienne Westwood, meanwhile, the atmosphere is, as ever, punk. As far as creative direction of the label goes, Westwood has handed the reins to her husband, Andreas Kronthaler, 25 years her junior. He's kept the same attention to detail, disregard for gender labels, and passion for environmental activism.
We need fashion and we need clothes, of course, but we live in another world now. What can we do, you know? I'm trying to be, you know, as environmental friendly as I can and all these things, but you know, we have to do much more, much more, because otherwise we are heading towards the deluge.
Vivienne Westwood was sat in the front row, but once the show was over, she had no interest in talking about the clothes. These days, at 77, she's almost entirely devoted to her numerous political causes.
We're killing ourselves with consumption and the rotten financial system, don't you know it? I mean, politicians are criminals. They're just not trying to get through to people. They've got no humanitarian opinions or programmes whatsoever. I mean, we're dying. We've had it. 1 billion people left by the end of the century, unless we act now. And I'm going to do it.
Fashion needs to be aware of the present while looking to the future, but it also needs to understand its past. One of the most hotly anticipated events of this Fashion Week took place at the Trocadero Fountain, just opposite the Eiffel Tower. Anthony Vaccarello, artistic director at Saint Laurent, offering a heartfelt homage to his label's creator.
There was a suede jacket with large, colorful stars. It really reminded me of some pieces by Yves Saint Laurent. Those big knots at the back, the stars, the black muslin, the transparency, the panther. You can really tell that he's been very inspired. It reminds me of Yves Saint Laurent. It's true. It's very much inspired by him.
The mise-en-scène is impressive. There are towering white palm trees and a slick, glistening black catwalk. Tiered seating allows for a maximum number of guests. There's even space for members of the public.
Absolutely magnificent. The clothes are extremely well made. It's also beautiful.
The fashion industry is one of the planet's largest polluters. It's also a huge motor for economic growth. Reconciling ethics and productivity is the challenge of the future.